What do you want to do? Nothing. Who do you want to see? No one. How are you feeling? Empty. Depression hurts. And you may feel like there's nothing you can do. You're correct, but you don't have to end your life. We will. Ask your doctor if MAiD is right for you. Canada has progressed beyond the need for people who are sick or depressed. And MAiD has the fewest number of complaints from patients of any medical treatment in Canadian history. If you're experiencing illness, depression, poverty, toothaches, a temporary sinus infection, or anything else that might cost the Canadian government money to deal with, know that it gets better. For us. After you stop breathing. But don't take our word for it. Hear the testimonials of patients treated with our program. Why wait? Ask your doctor now.
I don't know why everybody's so frustrated with the VA. My drill sergeant sense is tingling, but that can only mean one thing. A veteran called the VA looking for help and was instead told to look up medical assistance in dying. Isn't that just classy words for suicide? I guess 22 a day just ain't enough anymore. A Canadian veteran. Yes, I said Canada, because not even America's healthcare system is this bad. Called up the VAC in Canada, Veteran Affairs Canada, and was looking for help. Said, hey, I got a TBI. Hey, I got PTSD. I need a little assistance. And you know what the call taker at the VAC said? Hey there, buddy. How about you fucking start a rifle? Well, kind of, because the call taker at the VAC told this veteran who was looking for help that he should look into MAiD, medical assistance in dying, which, if you're not sure what that means, is big old fancy words for euthanasia.
Euthanasia! Euthanasia! Euthanasia makes you kill your pet.
Except for you. You get to self-do that. You get to hit your own power switch. America's running around spending all this money trying to save vets, and Canada's just up there in the north just picking them off like it's some sort of carnival game. Now, normal people would probably say, well, that's probably a bad idea. You know, telling a guy looking for help for some mental situations not a good idea. Is it just, but not the VAC in Canada. Nope, because after this veteran said, no, thank you, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I want help, not the end. This person kept bringing it up, kept saying, are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to just take that little piece of steel and just, just tell me how it tastes. Tell me how it tastes over the fucking phone. And yeah, I'm using finger guns because over the phone, this doofus told the veteran, hey, it's better than blowing your brains out or running your car into something. And if that isn't a dude, I swear to God, that's man speak right there. A lady would be at least a little bit more emotionally available than to just blurt out, hey, you looking for help? Some mental help? Well, you should just off yourself. But here, do it here. Let me help you. Let me help you. It's better than blowing your brains out, right? What an emotionally insensitive idiot. This guy must think that offing veterans one at a time is just his way of giving back to the Canadian government and saving them hundreds of thousands of dollars each year in medical costs. Hey, why stick around when you could just end it and we won't have to pay your medical bills from now until eternity? We won't be able to collect taxes on you. Dang, but at least we won't be able to spend more money on your worthless ass. Oh, but we're only just getting started. Because after this veteran said, no, listen, shut up, I don't want that. This call taker goes on and says, but I've helped another veteran do it. And if that doesn't set a fire inside you, I don't know what will. Now, you think this person would just get their sick kicks with taking a veteran's life, but you know what? He also told this veteran that called in, that guy that I assisted in hitting the off button permanently, we also got counseling for his children. His children. Because nothing says like assisting a veteran mentally, physically, emotionally, etc., like talking him into freaking going downtown for one last ride and then saying bye to his family. Who would want to stick around for that? who would want to try and salvage a life for their children. Their freaking children. Oh, no. We're just going to give them counseling. That'll be fine. I mean, it's better than their dad, right? Because that's the train of thought that we're fucking having here, right? Right? We've got a guy at the VAC taking calls, offering veterans assistance in not living anymore, and then talking about how he's already succeeded. Oh my God, people must be upset. People must be really mad. You would think. Unfortunately, nobody knew about this until the veteran that was talking to this fucking psycho over the phone made multiple complaints to the VAC. And then when they didn't get the ball rolling, good job at not looking into that one, VAC. He goes to the press. And the press goes, holy shit, this is a big deal. What's going on, VAC? And the VAC says, Mr. Lawrence McGanley, the head of the VAC, is looking into it. He takes these things very seriously. Once we had discovered that this occurred, we immediately took action and apologized to the veteran. Oh, hey there, sorry, bud. Didn't mean to tell you to take that forever sleep instead of, actually helping you and offering a solution to your mental anguish and shit that we put you through because, we shoved you overseas, but now that you're home, it'd really be great if you could but we can't say that no more, but hey, bud, okay. Now, if the VAC took action, that means that something happened. An action happened. A movement. Some sort of fucking verb. Well, what action did they take? Because the person that answered the call that day, that talked to another veteran about taking that forever sleep, and then talked about him assisting another veteran in taking that forever sleep, and at least counseling his children now that daddy's gone, still works at the VAC. Oh, they're not on administrative leave during this investigation. No. They're not sitting somewhere else, just kind of holding off till we get all the information of this, I would say catastrophic event. No. That would make sense, wouldn't it? That would make fucking sense. That would have veterans try and think that you might actually be doing something and have their best interests in mind, but that would be too stupid. We don't want to do that. We'll keep the person working. That way we can off more veterans and tell them about MAiD. It's fantastic. It's glorious. It's not a conspiracy. Oops, sorry, not to go down the conspiracy hole, but yeah, that person's still working. Oh, and the other action you would think that they would take is to have an emergency meeting. Oh, you would think a meeting about, hey, maybe we should gather everybody together, and tell them not to tell dudes to off themselves, huh? But no, a veteran who sits on the Service Excellence Advisory Group. Wow, what a bullshit fucking name that is. A group that tells the VAC, hey, this standard is low. This standard needs to be raised. This is a bad thing. We need to make it a good thing. Well, one of the veterans on that board, group, whatever, said, hey, an emergency meeting needs to take place right now. We can't have veterans calling up, getting told that medical assistance in death is an option. You want to know what they said? You want to know what the Minister Lawrence man said? What that board said about an emergency meeting? You want to know? They said last week, in middle of August, nah, we've got a meeting in September. We'll bring it up then. Now, considering that September was over 2 weeks away, and I don't know when in September this fucking board's gonna meet, you've got a minimum of 2 weeks. That bozo is still working at the VAC, still taking calls. You've got a minimum of 2 weeks that veterans are still being offered to go forever when they just don't feel so good and they're looking for somebody to fucking help them. We're just gonna lose some war fighters that we say we care about when we're on the campaign trail. But we know better. For 2 weeks. Instead of just, fixing the fucking problem right away. You couldn't be bothered to have a fucking meeting about dying veterans. The fucking purpose that you're here for. No, because we can just push off their deaths till later, right? Are you mentally fucking insane? Is this what medical care is? Is that what taking care of your battle buddy is? Let me tell you something, Canada. I like you. I like your troops. Got some great warfighters. And here in America, we don't want you to give up. Fuck, I'm pissed. Ooh. The guy ain't goddamn kids! Fuck!
I'm also in medals here as well, Mr. Prime Minister, so it's a similar topic as well.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I'm just going to step over here, if that's okay. My name is Brock Blaschuk. I'm a retired corporal with the Patricia Canadian Light Infantry out of here in Edmonton, 1st Battalion. I served in the Canadian Armed Forces for 7 years. I deployed in Afghanistan back in 2009 until April 3rd, where I was obviously severely wounded by a roadside bomb or improvised explosive. As you can see, I've lost my left leg. I have 58% soft tissue loss and 88% nerve damage on my right leg. Back in August 24th, 2015, you made the promise, and I'll quote it here, "No veteran will be forced to fight their own government for the support and compensation they have earned." Yet you are still currently in a legal battle with veterans regarding equal support and compensation to their peers. You know, as you can tell, we have two standard of veterans who fought in the same war. The ones prior to 2006 and the ones after 2006. There are two standards. One on the old Pension Act and one under this new lump sum or soon to be lifetime pension option. Which, by the way, Mr. Prime Minister, by what you just said here, through my own determination, I'm still at work, so technically, by what you said just a little while ago, I don't qualify for. Sorry.
No,
so
take
my
your time.
question is...
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your courage.
So my question is to you, Mr. Prime Minister, what veterans were you talking about? Because you have ISIL or ISIS members coming into a reintegration program. You did a backdoor deal with Omar Kahdr with not even stepping into the courtroom. So again, my question is, what veterans were you talking about? Was it the ones that fought for the freedoms and values that you so proudly boast about, or was it the ones who fought against? Because honestly, Mr. Prime Minister, I was prepared to be injured in the line of duty when I joined the military. Nobody forced me to join the military. I was prepared to be killed in action. What I wasn't prepared for, Mr. Prime Minister, is Canada turning its back on me. So which veteran was it that you were talking about?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your passion and your strength and being here today to share this justifiable frustration and anger with me and with all of us here. Thank you for having the courage to stand here. and thank you for listening to my answer. On a couple of elements you brought up. First of all, why are we still fighting against certain veterans groups in court? Because they are asking for more than we are able to give right now. They are asking for more than we are able to give right now.
But wait! There's more!
We now as a society are promoting death for infants, babies, and now teenage children and sad people.
Minors from 14 to 7 years of age, nearly 18. The committee recommends, and the board of directors supports as well, that these minors could, with their tutors or parental parent, could make a request for MAiD based on the level of persistent and intolerable suffering that they may experience and become unmanageable and senseless. The same for babies from 0 to 1 years of age who are born with severe deformations, very grave and severe syndromes, medical syndromes, whose life expectancy and level of suffering are such that it would make sense to ensure that they do not suffer, given that their possibility of surviving is basically nil. And this is something that has been used in the Netherlands as an argument, and we could explore that option. Finally, the committee addressed the issue of elders who are feeling, tired of being alive. Sometimes what we in geriatric care call, sliding into existential suffering or emptiness, who's are very fragile, whose physical abilities are so debilitated that the very fact that they're still alive becomes a real strain on them. So we feel that this is a topic that's a sensitive one, of course. People in general aren't quite sure how to approach this. We don't have a clear answer for these cases, but we would like to continue researching this with specialists and with Canadians in general, to be able to think when, for such people who are simply extremely frail and tired of being
alive. That's where we are. I mean, so I guess I take a lot of this personally. That's why I'm making a video on it. Is stuff like this wears on my brain, and I have to do something about it. I have to say something at least, and I talk about it pretty often in my circles, the ones that I'm involved in. I cannot believe as a country we're offering our citizens death. I thought Canadian healthcare, the way it was designed, was to offer the best quality of life for every Canadian citizen. That's what I thought healthcare would be in Canada. I mean, I went through my whole life involved in the Canadian healthcare system. I was often in the hospital, often. And I developed an admiration for what I thought was happening there. I mean, and now you're telling people if you're sad, you can kill yourself. I thought the country, a federal government or any government, was supposed to care about its citizens and want them to have the best quality of life possible, not to end it. There's a book by Viktor Frankl called Man's Search for Meaning. We can argue all day about if the events really happened or not to make this a whole yay thing, but the premise of having something meaningful that drives you in your life, and what that is for a lot of people, it's their kids, it's family, it's their country, and again, they can vary, but to say I wish I was dead, kill me state, life's hard, I quit. Am I surprised that they would offer, like when they did Bill C-7 during what was the lockdowns and the pandemic was so ruthless. Like the people that made those decisions knew locking them in their house is going to have drastic cognitive effects. It's not new knowledge, it's psychology, that if you lock people away in solitary, they're not going to do well. So you offer them suicide as an answer. It's so disgusting. That's why I just can't believe that this is how fast it happened. Where you're looking at really old philosophies. These aren't new philosophies. You just kill yourself. It's fine. I don't know how canceled I want to get, but let's put it this way: the whole transgender movement, which when in school we learned was gender dysphoria. The suicide rate's very high. It's like 40-50%. It's supposed to be higher than people that were in Auschwitz. So, again, not trying to make this account anything, but what we're doing to people's brains and the psychology and all this, you have to turn off the media. Like, you have to find other sources of news in Canada. It's really bad. Douglas Murray, I believe, did a whole speech on it at the Monk debate. Jordan Peterson obviously has done his part chipping away at the Canadian media. Right. Oh, I guess it's chipping away at the media. I mean, in the veterans, like, this has to stop. So it's up to the intel agencies really to stop it, and you're not stopping it. It looks really bad. Like, if you're, this is bring this back to the inquiry in my previous videos. If you haven't checked those out, I mean, they're just summaries of what happened. The federal government decided that they were just going to take. They took, they said they had people read things and tell them what they thought, and then they went with decisions based on that rather than reading it yourself. I am paid to lead, not to read. Emergencies Act, it's what they've done to Canada and what these people perceive as to be like violent threats and fear. It's up to security agencies to stop this stuff from happening. How can you look at what's happening with Canadian media, with American media, with Twitter, and the recent dump of Hunter Biden stuff? And then now you're offering Canadian suicide when you've gaslit them into oblivion. And my question to you, if you're watching this, is that have you stood up? Have you said anything? Have you I think about the jobs I used to have, and I thought where I was going, and to sit there and watch this happen and not to say anything or do anything would make me feel worse. It feels pretty shitty though to watch the integrity of like personal sport work as a trade, education as teaching as a trade, and how like personal training in fitness and coaching sports ball as a trade. Health professional being in the medical field as a trade is now all gone to shit. Psychology as a field has gone to shit, right? To wrap this up, I suppose. Mental health. You have to have grit to get through anything. You have to be mentally and physically, you have to. You can do it. You can handle it. You can handle what's happening. It's just day in, day out, do the thing, right? Whatever that thing is. And just don't hurt anybody. That's Don't take stuff that isn't yours. Don't kill no one. Do your best to tell the truth. Do your best to lead by example, and whatever that is, you know. Like, what would you tell your kid to do? And if it's survival at all costs, then what kind of society are you suggesting you want to create? If the society is saying it's too hard, just kill yourself, I don't know how I would have made it out of anything that I went through personally. I don't know how anyone does. Oh, just take this. There was a commercial that was referenced. I'm not going to play it here. By a fashion company in Canada, suggesting the beauty of suicide and the beauty of ending your life. Life is meant to be a beautiful struggle. That's the point of it. And you do your best. You do your best you can to lead, to bear it, right? To put the weight on your back and get moving. You keep moving forward, right? You take the hits and you keep moving forward.
Stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
There's a reason why there's a Gilmore jersey on my wall. Now, I'm not saying he's a great person, but it was the way he played the game. It's not him who I idolize. It was the spirit of how he played the game. You play tough. You play strong. You develop your talent, right? You're shooting, passing, stick handling, going back around the net and scoring on Cujo. It's how you play the game. It's how you live your life, and that's the whole point of it. You know. I'm wrapping up here in this last. I do these little 10-minute rants on my Telegram channel. All links and all references are below. If I don't see you, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to this month. I believe in you, even if you pissed me off and I haven't spoken to you in a long time. It's never too late for us to have a conversation and build on what was there, because everything's been fucked and gaslit the last few years. So, just want to say, hope you have a happy holiday. Don't kill yourself. Love one another. Best wishes, good health. Peace.
Big stretch. Alright, so, you being goofy?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to jump and pull. Come on. Up. There you go, tough guy. Up. Just do your best. Jump and pull.
2.
Yep. Up, up, up.
3.
Almost done. 2 more. You got it, buddy. You gotta jump and pull. Up, 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 up. 1 more. Do your best. Do your best. Do your best. 1 more. Last one, buddy. Up, 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 up.
5.
Control. Down. Very good. Take a break. How you feeling?
Yeah.
Nice. You alright?
Yeah.
Almost fell on a rock. Falling on the rocks.
Oh yeah.
Good job, buddy. What city's that?
Like a baby.
Yes, sir. 7 times 4.
7 times 4. 7 times 4. I don't know. 7? 7. 7. 14. 21. 28.
7 times 4 is?
28.
I thought you said you didn't know. Ha ha!
28.
Good job, buddy. You take a shot? Yeah, how do you go closer? 1 at a time. Hustle, 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 hustle. Whoa! Almost. Good hustle, buddy.
Is there?
Find each other. Because you need each other right now, so find each other. Go middle, Max. Go middle. McDonald, middle. Chad,